everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video for Claustrophobia. Haha, there's the name. 1643. From what I can tell, this is a remake of the original Claustrophobia game that didn't have the year or number part of the title. And, well, this is a Kickstarter game, and honestly, I didn't get it as part of the original Kickstarter. They had a quick 48-hour Kickstarter campaign for the soundscape of Claustrophobia 1643, which is an hour-long soundtrack, pretty much, I'm guessing, for the mood of the game that's downloadable. But they had a few copies, like less than a few thousand, that you could order that were the entire Kickstarter game, the collector's edition of it, and not much more than it was for that. I think the difference actually was the soundtrack. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. So I bought it. And here we are. This is a big, not too big, like not coffin-sized box or Kingdom Death or Twilight Imperium, but it's still a pretty big game. The more important thing is, this is dense. This is heavy for its size. This weighs about as much as Kingdom Death from what I can tell. I could be wrong and just tired. But regardless, let's get inside and take a look. So this is, as with many of my board games, a miniature board game, and it is a dungeon crawler, which is pretty much one of my favorite genres in role-playing games and board games and such, is just exploring a genre, exploring like a dungeon, or in this case, I think it's a cave network. I don't really like it too much as video games, but I still enjoy it. It's just, it gets really repetitive as a video game as opposed to enjoying it with people around a table. So, there's no name on the front, but it's got this really nice artwork, and which wraps all the way around to the back. The image breaks here, I think. Maybe? Or it just keeps wrapping around. I don't know. But, yeah, as you can see, there's no details on the back or anything. I don't actually really know much about this game. This was more bought on a whim. Oh, awesome. So we've got this really spooky looking creature poster that has a authentication number, I think. Meaning these were leftover or canceled copies. Or extras made and they didn't need them. And then, so the box is pretty much packed to the top. I don't know if there's a storage tray in here or something. I hope so. But first off, we've got, oh, I thought this was only 4 different books. A scenario booklet, a rule book. Oh, and then the same things in another language. Convenient. I can't tell what language it is off the top of my head, but again, I only know English, and that's not so much I'm American as I have problems with languages, including my own. Then we've got, I don't know, like, it looks like a player board, but from the back, you can tell a bunch of stuff gets punched out. I know that there's a sort of wireframe-ish board that's meant to overlap things, and that might be this. I didn't really have time to wrap my head around it too much. Like I said, it was a 48-hour campaign, so it was get her done. Yeah, okay, so that is kind of what's going on here. First off, this folds. Yeah, that's entirely what's going on here. So, you can see that there's a bunch of different punch-out pieces. And actually, I think I'm holding it upside down, because it pairs with something like this, and you get to see all the details. I don't know if those are for just monsters, and the monster there is an example, or if it's for the players. Then we've got a single punch-out board. Yes, that's not something you see too often. As part of it's already popping out, but everything is double-sided, but it looks to be the same on each side. Yep, for the most part, at least. And then it looks like this is a bunch of status tokens and things like that, and then this one monster up the top. A troglodyte, not troglodyte, Hornus. I don't know. Then we get to the rest of this, which looks like it is a tray from here on out with stuff in it, and it goes all the way to the bottom. There's some cardboard separating some stuff. Oh boy. So first off, we have one of 2 stacks of tiles. Just tiles. I knew that the board was made up of tile pieces to make like a cave system and such, as you can see. It looks like they're all very randomized, kind of like the D&D dungeon crawler games that they've been making for a few years now, like Wrath of the Shardalon. We actually have, and I say we because each one's owned by a different person, the original sets, the first 3 before they changed the artwork of the external boxes. Here, I own one, friend owns one, and another friend owns another, and they're all just kept here. But, yeah. So, a bunch of tile pieces. Oh, of course, they're not jigsaw like those games, which, yeah, the tile pieces fit together like a jigsaw. These also look a lot prettier. And then another stack. I would go through them more, but honestly, it's just, to me right now, it's just a bunch of artwork that's just like, I don't know. Then there are some empty boxes under each of them. I'm guessing they're for spacing. Like, this is empty. And then there's another one. I'm okay with that, but it's a little odd. Then we've got what looks like one stacked upon the other, 2 trays of miniatures, kind of like in Dark Souls, or at least with the smaller miniatures. I'll get back to this, so I like to save the miniatures for later. Then we've got, ooh, yeah, there are just boards. Okay, so these are what I was thinking of ones probably for the characters, but it's just like the other one where it's folding and then a bunch of punch-out stuff. So there's 3 here that look like that. Then 2 more here that look like that, and it looks like there's more on the other side of this. And then what look to be the actual player boards. Now, these look to be the actual character cards. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here in general. And they are English on one side, and I can't tell if that's French or German. That's the other language, but it doesn't really matter. We've got a swordswoman, a guardian, condemned brute, different condemned brute. Are those the same stat-wise? Yes. Condemned scout, which, again, we have a different one, but looks to be the same stat-wise from what I can tell. And then Redeemer. That's a... Maybe it's just, hey, here's some extra stuff. But here's those things. And then we seem to have more on the other side. So, same with the foldy things. But then we have monsters. Their stats. Okay, yeah. Again, they're one language on one side and other language on another. And then it's just... And it looks like multiple different artworks, just like the condemned creatures. Or at least those 2 were. We have a few more here. Just going to show these off in batches. Yeah. So, one of the things that drew me to this game was the aesthetic of just like, look at all these creepy monsters kind of thing. And again, I love dungeon crawlers. Be that an actual dungeon or, like it is in this game, a cave network system kind of thing. The tray is now very visible. It's got this taller column here that stores cards and dice. There's actually multiple different sets of dice. So, we've got what appear to be some D6s. 10 of them to be precise. And, oh, That's kind of cool. With slash marks on each of the numbers, and then the 6 is represented by a cracked skull. That's all of those. And we've got some smaller dice, one of which being cross-like symbols on D6s. That's literally all of them. There's nothing separate for the 6. And then we've got more unique dice. They're D6s in shape, but they look to be different in design. Yeah, they go 1, 2, 3. I think, yes, 1, 2, and 3, but some of them are white and some of them are red. So it's 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, 3 red. I don't know if there's a difference or it's literally just a D3. Ooh, these are cool. I'm not gonna pop this open because they'll just go everywhere for now. But these are all little skull tokens. That's kind of cool. And then we've got some large gems, some plastic bits using the same shape that you see for a lot of generic mass-produced gems for board games. Ascension ends up coming to mind the most, where they use those gems, and these look to be bigger than their red gems. Oh, and then there's a bag of smaller red gems, which, like I said, the same shape. They just scale it up and down for different things. And then we got cards. It looks like, yeah, just at first glance, this looks to be English, other language. So, really, it's half the amount of cards here. There's 3 packs in total. And, yeah. So, let's just go with the English one. There we go. Yeah, these are tightly packed. I'm just like, I didn't even know where to... Wasn't going to try using my nails and didn't know where to put the knife. And this looks like a bunch of equipment, honestly. Reinforced leather armor. Steel shield. Oop. Be helpful if my finger wasn't right over the image. Belt of explosives. Necklace of ears. Even though it looks more like teeth, they're, I guess, ears of monsters. Grenade. Sanctified weapon. It says generic weapon. It says weapon, but it's a hammer. I guess it's just meant to be generic. Medallions of rage. Last chance potion. Definitely has a skull and cross on it. Although it looks like the cross is... Nope, it's a pair of swords. Never mind. Command scepter, sacred symbol, and blunderbuss. Gives us a decent time frame. Which is probably 1643. We've got some smaller cards. There's 2 separate packs of these, and I don't mean the different languages, otherwise there's 4 packs then. There's one with black backs and swirls, I'll show it in a second, and another that is white with red cross. Wouldn't be surprised if one of these is bad stuff and the other one is actions or good stuff. But things like suicide attack, critical strike, master of destiny, demonic possession, panic, acid projection. Yeah, these look like all hope is lost. These look like bad things. Well, I want the other one. This one probably is the better thing. I'm guessing this game has a bit of a religious overtone. Because this is looking more and more like Crusader kind of stuff. So not like religion in your face, but the base concept is coming from religion. But again, that's a guess. Go for it. I stand alone, on the defensive, Sons of Sacrifice, Vigil, Run, Skill. Yeah, these are definitely the better things. Except one of them is called Energy of Despair. But also Resilience. And on to the miniatures, because we're done with everything else. Alright, so... Oh, come on, tape. Curse you, tape. Why are you always in the way? Doop, 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 doop. There we go, that's a little better. Ah, tape, you make me suffer and waste my viewers' time. Sort of. Yay! Alright, so these are pre-assembled solid miniatures. They honestly look really nice. Ooh, that's a little... I don't know if that's meant to be loose like that. Doop, doop, doop. It looks like a Wicker Man ghost sort of thing. Floating crazy dude. Taskmaster, I'm guessing, kind of thing. Ooh, that's more of a brute. He's got metal just tacked on to the end of that thing. I don't know. Pustules, arms. Yeah. Another Wicker Man-like guy in a throne. The monster used for the authentication, or, you know, number of authenticity, not authentication. Ooh, that's just a maw teeth being carried by a thing with a maw teeth for a belly. A zombie or a mummy with a pickaxe-like thing. Ow. Yeah, definitely got poked by stuff. Because this is just an eyeless monster covered in spikes and impaled with a few things. This is also a lot larger than the other monsters. I like that the bases are not flat bases. They're pretty much cracked ground. Then we've got a four-legged crawler thing. It's got a really minuscule body by comparison. And we've got two what look like smaller versions of the big hound creature. They're also spiked. They're not impaled or covered in things. In two different poses. I imagine that they are actually the same creature, but just two different poses. As for this tray, we've got a thing with an axe-like head that looks like it's either hunting or ready to pounce, which kind of is hunting. And then there's the whole underneath part, which has a lot more repetitive things. This is probably the biggest miniature in the game. Same base size as that large hound creature, but it's definitely taller. It's easily the tallest one. More spikes coming out of it, blade-like claws. And then a bunch of little gremlin dudes. There are 10... Nope, sorry. Wow, that's odd. There are 11 of these. And they've got 3 arms each and literally have faces like the movie Gremlins. And then there's 2 more of them that have 4 arms with rock-like arms for the bigger ones. And then I think we get into the playable characters, like here's the swordswoman. I don't know. Like, I'm really not going to remember most of these, but he's got a whip chain-like thing. It's like a flail covered in kitchen knives, including a butcher knife. I'm wielding a hook hammer. It's got actually a book on his back. Looks, again, like religious kind of book. Long pickaxe being held by a woman. Yeah, these are definitely the playable characters. The Condemned Scout. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a miniature for each of the Condemned versions. don't know what's up with this guy, but he's got a, like, really makeshift shield and a double pickaxe kind of weapon. And then somebody with a giant-ass axe. This is also one of the condemned brutes, and the other one with the swinging weapon was. Alright, that's everything. This was a lot of stuff. Honestly, I hope this is a good game. I feel component-wise was worth it, but if the game's not good, the game's not good. Regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press the like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, please feel free to share this video. Either way, you'll help this video get seen more. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press the dislike button. I won't mind, but please leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, feel free to comment in general, such as if you want to see me to do detailed overview videos, or if you want to see any of this painted sooner than other models that I'm just working on, or anything along those lines, if you want to see me to do other videos with this game, or just even a simple review. And if you want to see more like this, be it more unboxing videos, my board game overview videos, my painting videos, or anything else that I do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.